Duke Nukem Forever 2001 restoration project is here, and as a treat for all the fans, it's out today. And we've gotten a chance to play it over the last few days, and I'm going to talk about it on the channel, and I gotta tell ya, I'm excited. Duke is back, baby. So first, let's try to make sense of all this. Just what exactly is this restoration project? After all, Duke Nukem Forever released in 2011 by Gearbox Software, so what exactly is being restored here? Well, Duke Nukem Forever once held the record for being the longest development in a video game spanning over 14 years. Many believed that the game would simply never come out after years of development hell, engine swaps, personnel changes, financial issues. It had it all. But then, at E3 in 2001, 3D Realms, the creators of Duke Nukem 3D, showed off a trailer for Duke Nukem Forever running on Unreal Engine 1. This version garnered positive acclaim from fans and is considered to be far superior to the official Gearbox version from 2011. On May 9th of 2022, an unfinished version of the same Duke Nukem Forever E3 build leaked online, including full source code and the level editor. This build, however, is considered to be nothing more than an interesting tech demo or a curiosity, as it's both incomplete and buggy. And that's where we are today. The famous Duke Nukem Forever 2001 project has been carefully restored as a completely playable vertical slice that features the entire Chapter 1 of the game. That's a total of 9 levels. Not only this, it has one secret level, one test map, a multiplayer option with different maps, and the Duke editor. The team has managed to take the 2001 E3 build and carefully put the pieces back together, and what's here is quite impressive. Mighty Foot Productions has put a ton of work into this restoration, and it really does show. Of course, it's not perfect. There is still some jank associated with this release, but most of it has come from the original source material. We have to remember that it is from 2001, and to be clear, this is a first slice release and there is much more work to be done. Now, because we're talking about 2001, we're talking about DirectX 9 era visuals. As mentioned earlier, Duke Nukem Forever 2001 runs on Unreal Engine, but there are some customizations that were brought in from UE2, but in reality it's more of a hybrid UE1 and 2 combined, and the team has added significant improvements over the leaked build to things like AI, rendering and more. Now, to play this game you will need a PC of course, and any modern graphics card should be sufficient. The game offers a choice of 3 different renderers to pick from: DirectX 8, DirectX 9 and OpenGL, and in my experience DX9 is the most accurate in terms of rendering, but it's also a little slower than OpenGL, which offers the best performance and even allows for the video modes to be set up to 4K. For DX9 I was only able to set max res to 1080p. However, OpenGL does have issues with things like mirrors, muzzle flashes and the flamethrower, so in my opinion it's best to stick to DX9. But no matter which option I selected, there were some issues with shadows and lighting in some areas, which will be addressed in a future update. As far as some of the options in the game that you can adjust, FOV sliders is present for those people that want to max it out. You can also enable or disable subtitles and adjust resolution. Graphics settings here are quite limited, but you can adjust some basic options. Now, I didn't see any option for VSync in the settings at all, but the game is locked at 60 FPS for me, and I am unsure at this time if it is possible to run the game with an unlocked VSync and run the game at high frame rates. As mentioned, multiplayer is also included in this release, and according to the team is functional from both a hosting and a joining perspective when it comes to existing matches. Dedicated multiplayer maps are also included, but the team admits that the multiplayer is the most unfinished part of this first slice, so I do expect improvements for this over time. As far as the first slice, as mentioned, you get the 9 levels in the game that round out Chapter 1, and you can actually select any map in the game that you want. Simply just drop down the map that you want to play and then select it. But in my opinion, the best way to experience this game is just to start from scratch and enjoy the fun. Of course, this is Duke Nukem from 2001, so expect to be searching for things like keycards, and it's not always obvious where they are. But with some trial and error, you'll figure it out. I would also recommend that anyone that wants to play the game save regularly. Fortunately, F5 offers a quick save, which is pretty common for a game of this era, but I do suggest that you save regularly. Death means that you start from the beginning of the level, and this can get quite tedious if you don't save. As far as the engine goes, it's impressive. Duke 3D was applauded for its destructible environments and objects, and you get much of that here as well. Many objects in this game are destructible, and its set pieces are quite well done. Of course, these days the graphics are primitive, but in general, the game makes great use of lighting and color to really convey the feeling of a big Las Vegas hotel, and of course the weapons and gunplay feel satisfyingly great. Overall, this is a labor of love for all fans of Duke Nukem 3D, and I'm really thrilled that this first slice has released, and for those people that have been literally waiting decades to experience can finally do so. Now, one thing that I do want to mention, and I think it's important to bring up, is legalities. I'm not quite sure where this stands from a legal viewpoint, considering Gearbox does own Duke Nukem these days. It's unclear how they would feel about this fan mod, especially given that it came from leaked files from May. My hope is that they leave things as they are, but of course, as we've seen from the likes of Grand Theft Auto 3 and Take-Two, there is some chance that this mod may be frowned upon. Hopefully this won't be the case, and we will continue to see updates and improvements to DNF 2001 via the Restoration Project. Now, as mentioned, the game is out today, and I'll leave a link to download it when it's available in the description below. I'll also leave links to both the DNF 2001 Discord and the official Twitter page, so you can get any up-to-date info on the project. This first slice is awesome to play right now before the holidays, and I'll definitely be following along with progress on this mod as soon as they start to appear. But for now, we are going to leave it here for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this episode, please don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye for now.